Happy Monday, everybody. Here from the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. We like to do this thing at the top of every hour where we take you through the latest stories making headlines in and around Metro Atlanta. It is 1 o'clock on the dot. Let's get into the first story. This one really developing from over the weekend after 4 people were shot near a gas station in downtown Atlanta, just steps away from the Georgia State University campus. Well, public safety now taking center stage for the school as they address concerns from community members and students near this campus. Local officials are now trying to assure students that they are safe. Today, the Georgia State University held listening sessions, which included opportunities for students to express their concerns and ask questions about GSU's ongoing safety efforts. Rebecca Schramm has the latest.
You can bet a lot of GSU students and their parents are shaken up about that shooting, and they want to know what's being done to protect students. Well, we are noticing a couple of Atlanta Police Patrol vehicles outside this racetrack at the corner of Piedmont Avenue and John Wesley Dobbs. Right here in this block is where a big crowd was gathered early Sunday morning. This is right across the street from a Georgia State University dining hall and dorm. We saw most of the evidence markers near the intersection of John Wesley Dobbs and Cortlandt Street. According to police, 2 groups started fighting, and that's when someone, or perhaps more than one person, started shooting. 4 people were shot, 3 of them taken by car to the hospital. A 4th was in critical condition and went to the hospital in an ambulance. 2 of the gunshot victims were Georgia State University students, and they were innocent bystanders, according to a university spokesperson. We spoke with a young woman who was visiting a friend, and she was on the 9th floor when she heard the gunfire.
I was getting in the shower, and I heard pop, 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 and then I just heard cars racing off, and I was like, yeah, something definitely happened. I didn't even want to go outside.
The listening session with GSU's president and public safety officials is scheduled for 9 o'clock this morning. Then at 4 p.m., there's a town hall meeting on campus. We will have updates for you throughout the day. In downtown Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
Yeah, that was Rebecca Schramm with the latest. That 9 o'clock listening session happened earlier this morning. Now another one for the afternoon. Really giving community members a chance to weigh in. We're going to continue to monitor that. Make sure you have the Atlanta News First app downloaded so you can follow along. All right, this next story, a really difficult one in a Cobb County community. Teachers and students returning to class, starting a new week with heavy hearts. Now, Still Elementary School 3rd grade teacher Jasmine Lambert was killed on Saturday. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office has charged her estranged husband, who you're looking at on your screen right here, Tyrone Victor Lambert, with murder. The sheriff's office said Tyrone showed up to Jasmine's home just after midnight on Saturday and apparently forced his way inside. They said a domestic dispute ensued, and he reportedly pointed a gun and threatened, quote-unquote, multiple individuals while inside the home before leaving. That's according to authorities. He apparently returned hours later, forcing his way in once again into the back door of the house. Officials say that when deputies arrived, they heard a gunshot from inside the home. Jasmine was transported to Wellstar Paulding Hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. She was just 37 years old. And another story, this one offering some change out in Morehouse. The new clinic for people lacking access now opening in East Point. And this has been an ongoing problem in South Fulton for over a year, ever since Atlanta Medical Center shut down. Atlanta News First, Madeline Montgomery, took some time to go down to Morehouse Healthcare with how the clinic's location is going to be crucial to helping this community.
A walk through hallways that'll soon be filled with medical providers, Morehouse students, and people in East Point who need care.
Our long-term plan is to meet people where they are for their needs of health care.
Morehouse Healthcare at East Point is opening at a critical time.
The closure of the 2 hospitals that were under the direction of Wellstar was going to have a tremendous negative impact
Those closures motivated Fulton County leaders and Morehouse to partner up and see where they could fill in the gaps left behind.
We undertook a comprehensive study that determined that hundreds of thousands of Fulton County residents were without a health care home. Most of these people were black and brown.
Residents were left without primary care services, specialty services, without emergency care, skilled nursing, without community health workers. All of these are services that this clinic will soon deliver.
The clinic will have primary care providers for the thousands of patients they anticipate seeing. They'll be able to help with prenatal care, treat common illnesses, and screen for chronic illnesses. They'll also be able to help with behavioral health. And Morehouse students will be able to get hands-on experience at the clinic.
But together, Fulton County, Morehouse School of Medicine, we're closing the gap and bringing health care choices here to Central and South Fulton County.
Yeah, a lot of people benefiting from this. Healthcare is a huge issue here in Atlanta. A lot more people are going to have access to healthcare now because of this. All right, this next story, as we focus our attention on the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas in the Middle East, as you can see, Douglas County Commissioner is now headed to help. Now, you're looking at Douglas Commissioner Ricky Dobbs Jr. He is a U.S. Navy reservist, and he's preparing to deploy to the Middle East in the wake of the war. Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer reports from the Douglas County Courthouse, where today he attended a work session ahead of his deployment.
The deployment for the commissioner at this point is imminent. He plans to sit inside of a work session here at the courthouse later this morning. Business as usual, but things will change when he is working overseas. To give you some background, Commissioner Dobbs was appointed to the District 1 seat this past spring by Governor Brian Kemp. Now, he's been busy with many legislative decisions, including rolling back the millage rate and upping the pay for sheriff's deputies. He's also been a reservist for some time and now being called to active duty in the Navy. Meanwhile, the conflict in Israel has been intensifying as numerous organizations right here in the metro have been shipping out goods to children affected by the conflict, as well as soldiers on the front lines.
What happened is that people from the Troy Drive came to us and asked and told us that they have family members that are soldiers in the Israeli IDF and that they really need in some basic items. So the soldiers or the unit that we are sending it to, it's somebody's cousin from community or somebody's son or, nephew. So it's all connected.
Now, the commissioner will be juggling many tasks. We are told he plans to stay plugged in and hopping on conference calls, still acting as a commissioner and serving Douglas County while he is overseas. In Douglas County, Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
If you have an opportunity, if you live in Douglas County, make sure you thank him on social media or however you can. Definitely a hard time for all those involved, and we appreciate our military more than ever in these moments. All right, I want to change topics a little bit. A lot of us are starting to look at Halloween tomorrow. Some cold temps, but that's not stopping anyone's trick-or-treating fun. And apparently this year, a lot of people are spending on Halloween. So it poses the question, how much would you be willing to spend for a night out? Trick-or-treating or however you want to celebrate Halloween? Well, for many, as they get their last minute to-do items done for today, maybe heading into tomorrow, a lot of people are getting into the Halloween spirit. The National Retail Federation says that spending on this holiday will top $12 billion just this year alone, with about individual shoppers shelling out an average of $108. This year, more people are buying expensive decorations, plus millennials and other grown-ups are still dressing up, sometimes with multiple costumes throughout the weekend and into Tuesday, the actual day of Halloween. One thing that might spook you this year, the price of candy. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says candy is up 7.5% from a year ago. And get this, spending on pet costumes could top $700 million this year. The pet thing, I believe I am one of those people that will dress up my pet on Tuesday. I did see the prices on candy go up. I mean, we were looking at putting together our trick-or-treating basket to hand out candy ourselves, and let's just say we'll be looking out for those prices to drop after Halloween. for ourselves for the remainder of the year. All right, we hope you have a spooky day tomorrow, full of Halloween fun, however you choose to spend it. We'll continue to follow along the latest headlines coming out of Metro Atlanta and beyond. Make sure you have the Atlanta News First app and continue to follow for your latest stories on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Make it a great day.